Welcome back to Stardew Valley. I'm your host, longtime listener. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and comment below. You see here, we finally get another day where it's going to rain in summer. So we were just kind of talking about how we only had one day where that was the case. Sure enough, now we get another one. And then there's just kind of noteworthy commentary from the news there that fall is almost upon us. And it is a very profitable season. And then we got a love letter from Haley here. You can call it a love letter, but anyway, we got lots of mail. Willie sent us a recipe for chowder. And then we got a quest from George. So we kept a pepper for this very reason, an extra pepper. So anyway, we will go by his place and give him that pepper and knock that out. And then what else do we have on the to-do list for this one? It's Thursday the 25th. And that means not much. There's nothing going on the calendar. But we are going to try and swing by Marnie's and buy our cows and a milker. And we're going to... What else are we going to do? Oh, we're going to go by Robin's and buy our silo. I thought about a shed, but I think the silo is the more prudent next addition so that we can continue to stockpile hay for the winter. Because by that time, we'll have a bunch of animals, and we will need a bunch of silo for hay to get us through winter without having to buy hay from Marnie. And it's expensive. So anyway, you can see here we're crafting a bunch more quality sprinklers. So that's good. What did we make? 5 there, so we'll need 1 more in order to have this last row complete, and then also have 2 extra that we'll put up above the little pond there for some just kind of random extra crops for fall, because the top 3 rows are going to be cranberries, the last row will be pumpkins, and then we'll have our extra stuff over here, because we won't need the lightning rods in fall. We'll either put them away or just move them maybe up like behind the shipping bin or somewhere over maybe by the stable. But anywho, that's the general plan for the early going in the day, and then we'll swing by the mines, and I think we want to collect some iron and coal. We'll do that today. Tomorrow we'll probably go back to the mines for a little bit and try and go a little bit deeper and get some gold. And then honestly, at some point we're going to need to go and get a whole bunch of copper, because we're low. Now we have a bunch of copper bars smelted already, but we are low on the copper ore itself. And one strategy that some people like to do is basically, once you get to this point, they just go and they always go for copper, because you can stay in the upper parts of the mines where it's not hard to come by, and the monsters are not really that challenging, and you collect a ton of copper. And then what you do is smelt copper bars, then you can turn copper bars into iron bars. I think it's 2 copper bars will turn into 1 iron bar, and then 2 iron bars can be turned into 1 gold bar. Some people do that. I find that to be, time consuming, and it probably is easier to just go and get whatever ore you're looking for smelting. But anyway, so that's the plan for today. Buy our cows, get our milker for the cows, and get a silo purchased. And in the process, we will move our silos to the very southwest corner of our farm. And so that's where our silo stash is going to stay. We'll probably have 5 at some point. But there are other purchases that we'll do in the meantime. Our next purchase for the farm is probably going to be the shed, although I might do the house upgrade so that we're in position to get married in the fall if we get a rainy day and can purchase the amulet to propose to Haley. So anyway, that's on the agenda for today. Tomorrow, there's also nothing on the calendar, but it's Friday, which means we'll go to the traveling cart. We'll go back to the mines for a little bit at some point and do a gold run. And part of the reason I want to do a gold run is to get enough gold bars smelted so that we can do a pickaxe upgrade, which we might start on like the 27th, so that we get it back for the first day of the fall. Not that that's a big deal, but it's just something to do, something to spend our money on, because we're going to have a bunch of money. You see, we already have 53,000, and I'm buying our cows, so that'll eat into it a little bit. But anyway, I did the math for my fall crops, and you can see here we are naming our cows after the Ninja Turtles, because there's 4 of them. We're buying 4 cows, so that's a nice, easy list there. What was I talking about? Oh, money for the fall. I did the math, and the fall crops that we are going to want to buy are going to be about 41,000 bucks. So we'll have another blueberry harvest between now and then, and we already have enough money for that many crops. So we'll have some left over to do some purchases this season. So anyway, that's why I'm talking about doing the pickaxe upgrade and maybe the house or shed. So we shall see. I couldn't do Michelangelo because it was too long, so we just went with Mikey. And what else shall we discuss? And there you can see Marnie's kind of explaining, take care of your animals, and eventually I will start offering to sell you new animals. But really what you need to do is upgrade your barn to unlock those animals. But anyway, you should take care of your animals regardless. Don't just do it so you can get other animals. So say hello to Haley. I don't have a gift for her, which kind of stinks, because I can still give her one more this week. And it's Thursday, so we're going to need to remember to give her one at some point, because we want to get her maxed out on hearts. So if we do the house upgrade, we can buy the amulet and propose and maybe get married. If I time it right, what I would do is propose like the last day of fall, so that we get married like the 2nd or 3rd day of winter, when there's not a whole lot going on. So the wedding is not a disruption in any way whatsoever. Plus, never get married in summer. There's just too much going on in real life. Like, people are on vacation, people are playing like summer sports and whatnot. So don't get married in summer. I know it's pretty and it's warm. Depending on where you are, it might even be too warm. So just don't do it. So, why did I go? Oh, I went into the clinic to see if Maru was there because of the help wanted ad. So we'll swing back and grab, what was it that she wanted? Can't remember. So anyway, I come back here to get whatever it was she wanted, and there's that last gold bar that we needed to smelt our final quality sprinkler. That'll be the last one we ever make. Yay! Because the next sprinklers that we're going to make are probably going to be... Actually, we might, when we unlock the greenhouse, we might put some quality sprinklers in there for a little bit, because we probably won't have iridium yet. So we might have to make some more, dang it. But it's not a big deal. So we'll add the milker to our general tool set that we keep on us at all times. And what did I come back here for Maru? Oh yeah, red mushroom. That's what it was. So we got that. Why am I carrying... Oh, the copper bar. I was like, why am I carrying copper bars? But it's for the silo. Now, I'll walk through the list of fall crops that I plan on purchasing while we have a minute and explain kind of why I'm looking at how many I need. So I'm getting 3 amaranth, because you need 1 for a little quest, and then we will sell 1, keep 1, or maybe keep both. Not a big deal. We'll buy 2 bok choy, because there are no quests for that. Oh, here we go. Talking to Maru, and she's like, I'm going to build a robot someday. And I'm like, whew, that sounds tough. She's like, you're right, but I love a challenge. So Maru is opening up to us. Now we give her the red mushroom, and she's like, oh, I can use that on this project that I'm working on. I'm like, what are you going to do with the robot, mushroom, when you're building a robot? I don't know. So anyway, that was awkward. And oh yeah, like there are these things that you can buy at the health clinic. That energy tonic is not a bad investment. If you're gonna go into the mines, it's gonna fill up your energy, and it's gonna probably fill up your health bar for the most part, all for $1,000. And when you get to the point in the game where you can afford something like that, just do it. And there's Caroline. And remember, we need to get her to 2 hearts. So we're actually going to give her these grapes. And she's like, oh, that's sweet, thank you. So apparently she just liked it. And then we are getting close to getting her to 2 hearts, but not quite yet. So we're working our way up the list, but we'll keep plugging away at that. And then we go talk to Pierre, and he's like, everybody's just enjoying the weather instead of shopping. Well, whatever. I mean... Anyway, back to the crops. We are going to buy 144 cranberries, which is obviously the biggest chunk of money. That's going to cost us about 35,000 bucks. But that's going to be our big cash crop for this season. And then eggplant, we're going to buy 3. There's 1 quest at some point that I think somebody asks for eggplant. Or maybe, no. What it is, one of them is for the fall crops bundle, I believe. So we'll have an extra 1 of those. We'll buy 2 of the fairy rose seeds, which is a fall flower. And 48 pumpkins, which will be the last row. We might even buy 96 pumpkins if we have the money for it. Because that'll let us be able to plant them twice. And not have to go back and get them. So there's that, and then we'll buy 3 yams, because that's the other one of the fall crop bundle items. So what I wanted to just, I guess, cover, so the fall crops are corn, which we already took, eggplant, pumpkin, and yam, and we got those covered. So that's that. And doing a whole row of pumpkins will give us plenty to make sure we get 5 or 5 gold quality. And when we do that, that should finish the quality crops bundle, which gets us a preserve jar. So that's good. The fall crops bundle gets us a bee house. That's good. And that will leave us... Did we complete the artisan bundle? I think I completed in this episode. So... that gets us a keg. The only bundle that we will have to finish then is the animals, which is going to be a large milk, which now that we have cows, we're on our way to getting. Large brown egg and large regular egg. We've got chickens for that, so that's 3. And you need 2 of the following 3. Wool, large goat's milk, or duck egg. And once we finish that, that gets us a cheese press, but that will also finish the pantry. And I can't remember what the reward is for finishing the pantry. Actually, I think it's the greenhouse, so that'll be awesome. And then, okay, so we talked about kind of money that we plan on spending in the fall. Like 41,000, give or take, right off the bat. The reason I might not buy the extra pumpkins right away is because one other thing that we might want to try and do is knock out the vault. To complete the vault bundle, there's 4 bundles in there, but all you're doing is buying those bundles. You're paying them off. So it's 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, and 25,000. So that's 42,500 bucks. And when you do that, it repairs the bus, which gets you access to the desert. And I want to get that done because that gets us access to the Skull Cavern up there. And there's some other quests and stuff going on up there. If I can get real lucky, I might be able to find a prismatic shard before we even do that much. I mean, real lucky. And the prismatic shard you take up there and you stand in a certain spot and you get the galaxy sword, which is like twice as good as the obsidian edge that we have now, so it's freaking awesome. And we want that because if we're going to go into the Skull Cavern and just do regular mining and not like a deep dive thing, it's nice to be able to kill the monsters there with, you know, just a couple of swings. There we got a jade, so that's good. Jade we can use to buy staircases, which will allow us to do some of those deep dives in the Skull Caverns. We're going to stockpile those. But anyway, between our fall crops and the vault bundle, we need about, you know, 84,000 bucks. Call it 90,000 if we also buy the extra pumpkins, and we're not going to get there even with our next crop harvest. Oh, there's another jade. Even with our next harvest of blueberries, we're not there yet, and we won't have a big harvest for a while into the fall because we got to wait for our cranberries. The pumpkins take, I think, like half a season pretty much. Cranberries, let's see what they take. They take 7 days to get to harvest, and then they regrow every 5 days. So that's pretty good. And now, here's what they sell for, y'all. Base price for a regular cranberry is 75, then 93 for silver, 112 for gold. So, you know, we're gonna plant 144, and just like with blueberries, a lot of times you get extras. So we might harvest like 300 with one harvest, we'll say. And if we average in the neighborhood of 90 bucks, you can do that math. It's a pretty nice little payday each time. I might have even done that math wrong, to be honest, so whatever. You get the idea. We're going to make bank in the fall. So, alright, this has been a pretty productive day, to be honest. So, let's get organized here. I forgot to go to Clint's and bust open a geode. So we'll try and do that tomorrow, because we got to go to the traveling cart anyway, so we'll go there and then swing over to old Clint's. First, we're going to go into town here, and we'll head over to the Star Drop Saloon, say hi to some folks. Actually, no, I think I check out the beach first. Just looking for some forageables and catch Vincent and Alex on their way back to their house. And Alex is like, Dad was telling me about our national enemy, the Gotoro Empire. They sound like a ruthless bunch. So that's who we're off fighting in the war. And Kent is the dad who will be returning at the start of year 2. So, now one thing about completing the community center in year 1, when you do it, I believe you get like a 2-heart friendship boost with every character in town. So if Kent is not home yet, I don't think that applies to him. So that kind of stinks, but whatever. We'll make friends with him in time. And he comes back from the war and is, you know, unfortunately kind of has some demons in terms of like post-traumatic stress disorder. So that's kind of another element of this game where the developer kind of has a lot of realism in terms of the different kind of people, struggles that they have, etc. So while we're down here, we're going to spend a little bit of money and just buy these recipes. We won't buy the triple shot espresso recipe because it's 5,000, but we'll just knock out some of those other ones because Gus, from what I understand, has occasionally some other random recipes that he will offer, so it's probably not a bad idea for us to start checking for those. In fact, what is the bundle in the chef's bundle? Let's look this up, because there are a couple of recipes that I need to cook. Chef's bundle, where are you? Bulletin board. That isn't. Vault. Okay, chef's bundle. Maki roll, we already have that recipe, and fried egg, which is not. I think we already have that recipe too, so we're good on that front. So we're doing pretty good on the community center. We'll need to get access to ducks and goats. So we'll need to be making some more upgrades to the coop and barn. And we really need to be kind of working on that sooner rather than later, because it takes a few days for the upgrade. Then you got to get the animals, and they take a couple days to grow to maturity. And to get the duck feather, it's like a random chance whether they lay an egg or drop a duck feather. We also need rabbits, because I think the one bundle requires a rabbit's foot. Let me see. Where is it? Where are you, rabbit's foot? Hopefully it's one where you can get other stuff instead. Oh, Nautilus shell is one that we can't get until winter. I don't think we've gotten a purple mushroom yet, which is not a big deal because we should be able to forage for it in the fall. Okay, so the Enchanter's bundle, you have to get a rabbit's foot. So we need to get some rabbits, y'all, because they can take, it can take a while to actually get one. But anyway, cutscene here with Maru, and full disclosure, I've never really pursued Maru as a potential spouse, but I think in my next playthrough I might, because she seems pretty cool and smart. So maybe she'll get like a really nice job and make enough money that I won't have to work. So, she's already like a protege of Harvey, who's a doctor, and she's got this knack for science and robotics, and she's going places. Maybe not out of Stardew Valley though, so kind of limits your options. But anyway, there we go. We looked at the stars and a romantic encounter. And so, yeah, we're moving up on her list of people she likes. See some shooting stars there and a planet in the distance. Although, how far away is that planet that you can see it that well with the naked eye? Like, are we not on Earth? What's going on here? Anyway, back to action. It's 9:30. It's time to head back to the farm. So, but we got a lot done. Actually, no, it is time to head to the community center because we got our jelly. So we will go and drop that off, and that will complete the artisan bundle. So that's good. That artisan bundle usually takes me a while. So for me to get it done in the summer is pretty sweet. And again, that's part of the advantage of taking the bat cave instead of the mushroom cave. So that actually might be my new strategy forever. For every playthrough that I do from now on. So, let's please, for the love of God, head back to the farm. because I only have one fun fact for you, and we might save it for when we are in the midst of our mining expedition tomorrow. So I guess maybe we'll take a second to discuss our plans for the last episode of the summer, which is it the next episode? Yeah, it'll be the next episode. There's nothing going on day 1 on the calendar. Day 2 is the last day of summer, and you have the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies, which is at 10 o'clock at night at the beach. The jellyfish do a little ritual. Anyway, since it's a nighttime festival, um, places like Robin's and Marnie's, if it's a day where they're usually open, they will still be open. So that said, what we might do on that day is buy a shed, because she should be done with our silo by then, and so we can go up there and buy the shed. And again, the shed is not something that I necessarily need, and maybe I might be better off actually upgrading my coop or my barn now that I think about it, but dang it, I really want a shed. Because my chests are getting a little bit out of control, and I'm going to need to create a fall chest. So, I don't know, we'll see. And look how much maple syrup we get here, y'all. 6. That's a pretty good day. Once we get to the point where we have built everything that we need to build for the most part with our tree empire down here, I will probably just like wait until every tree is ready for me to collect the goodness from it, and then do it all in one day, so that I know like I only need to go pick them up on Fridays or whatever. But we're not there yet. So anyway, we're gonna take a blueberry and drop it into the preserves jar. We got our kegs all working. Our strawberry or our starfruit wine should be ready soon, y'all. But we're not going to make a whole lot more money in the summer, except for our last blueberry harvest. So we should be sitting around, what are we at right now, cash-wise? Okay, we got 47,000. We'll make like another 25. That'll give us in the neighborhood of probably 75,000 when we start the fall. And like I said, we only need 41,000 for crops. So we're actually not that far off from the vault bundle, except we have to spend a little bit of money on some upgrades. So I need to kind of decide what's more important to me at the moment. I'm trying to think of what I need to get from the desert that helps us with the community center. So I might need to be doing some homework there. You see the lightning struck and hit our lightning rod, and now it's kind of like pulsating. That means that one is going to have a battery pack tomorrow. So that's good. And you saw on the forecast there, it's calling for rain again tomorrow. So 2 days in a row after a serious drought. So that's, you know, of course we would get all this rain late in the season when I already have all of my sprinklers assembled. But anyway, okay. So again, on the agenda for today, we're going to go to the traveling cart, and fingers crossed that we get a red cabbage. But I'm not holding my breath. And then we're going to go mining. So if we do really well with time, we might try and swing by Clint's after mining and upgrade the pickaxe, but I highly doubt that we'll be able to do that, because I don't even think we have our 5 gold bars yet, which means we've got to smelt some. I want to do some mining, so unless we have them smelted prior to our gold mine run, that just ain't gonna happen. And I have 4 gold bars there and not enough to smelt another one. and they take a while. So we'll go up to the mines. I probably should have brought the gold bars, now that I think of it, because if I'm smelting gold at the mines right now, it'll be ready when I get there, and I could just go get it, go to Clint's, and, well, then I'd be dropping off my pickaxe when I need it to go mining, which I want to do today. So anyway, we will upgrade the pickaxe at some point, but not today. We'll check out the old coop here, and you can see now our little chickadees are big enough to where they're eating my hay. So now I just hit the little hay dispenser, and it gives me 4, because that's how many I need to feed the animals. And then we come over to the barn, and they still have not eaten their hay. Which, I mean, I get that they're baby cows, but I think maybe the first day that you have them, you don't need to feed them. Anyway. So, let's see. We've talked about what's going on in the last episode, which is pretty much the Moonlight Jelly Dance on the last day. We'll probably buy some sort of upgrade for the homestead. It's traveling cart on Sunday. And then other things on the agenda include we will probably try and craft some mayonnaise makers, at least one, and a cheese press or 2, so that we can make some cheese out of our milk. Because cheese is way more valuable than milk, and it's actually a really good food source. So once we start getting cheese, you'll never see me carrying around salmon berries again. I'll just sell them or whatever. We got some weeds over here, which apparently there was one kind of behind that tree right there that I couldn't see, and it eventually spawned some other ones. And I actually, yeah, okay. That grass right there is starting to encroach on our tree empire. So at some point we probably need to put a little fence around that with, you know, gates to get in and out of there without much trouble. And there we go inside a little bit of hay to replenish what we have used so far, which wasn't much. Come on, red cabbage. Come on, baby. I probably should have bought that cauliflower, because I don't think we have any left in our stash. And there was a eggplant we could have bought, but not a big deal. And I meant to buy the rare seed, but accidentally hit the coffee bean, but it's not a big deal. You can pretty much buy one coffee bean, because you plant it, and it grows the coffee plant, which continues to grow after harvest. And what you get from the coffee plant, or is more coffee beans. So you can plant those, and then you could have a coffee bean empire really easily. Now, I don't do much with coffee, so we'll plant like one next year. So anyway, some people really like to do triple shots of espresso when they go to the skull caverns to make them run real fast, which we might do. But we might just buy it from Gus. We'll see. So I still haven't figured out why. I mean, a lot of this is probably just the fact that my computer sucks. I'm using an old work laptop for this, so not the greatest of resources. But anyway, when it rains, the audio is kind of like spotty, and I get really choppy, performance, but I don't care. I might be due for a new work laptop here before long, so if I get one, we may see an upgrade in performance. But anyway, not a big deal. That's assuming I use the new laptop to play, which we might. Because it probably won't matter. If I'm doing it in my off time, and it's not causing any problems, I don't consider it abuse of company resources. There, Abigail's like, hey, we used some of your blueberries for a recipe the other day, and it tasted like crap. And Pierre emphasizes the same issue. So I'm like, oh, those blueberries were bad? Here, buy these blueberries, and maybe you'll have better luck this time. So, we're going to keep that sweet pea, and we'll swing down and see Haley, give it to her. I wish Caroline would have been present there in uh, at Pierre's so we can continue to try and befriend her. In fact, I probably should have gone looking for her in the back of the business establishment, but not a big deal. Here's Haley. It's a rainy day, and she's like, oh, life is so hard. So we give her the gold quality sweet pea. So she'll probably be like maxed out on hearts by the time we can even propose to her. And we got 67,000 bucks, y'all. So that's our fall crops and 25 grand left over. So not bad. Now the 25 grand, some of that's going to be spent on whatever we decide to buy for the farm upgrade. Which the more I think about it, it'll probably be either the upgraded coop or upgraded barn, so that we can keep chipping away at those, the items that we need from there for the community center. It's more important than getting married. Love can wait. So, alright, heading to the mines, and of course I was smelting iron and not gold. I don't even have any gold up here, y'all. We're running really low on resources. So, upgrading the pickaxe might not be a very good idea anyway, because we need to use it to get more stuff. But these last couple days of the summer, we'll probably spend some serious time in the mines. Just because we won't have a whole lot else to do. We aren't going to have another blueberry harvest. So there's almost nothing I need to do around the farm except deal with the kegs and the preserve jar. Check the bat cave, feed the animals, do the laundry, do some homework. Anyway. Feed the hog. Name that movie. Oh, I guess while we're at it, we have some time to kill here. And that means it is time for the fun fact of the day. And today's fun fact is that Brad Pitt suffered a very ironic injury in the midst of filming a movie one time. So, if you've ever seen the movie Troy, Brad Pitt played the character Achilles, which Achilles is a Greek mythological hero whose only weakness was if you were to hit him in the Achilles heel. And ironically, while filming a battle scene, Brad Pitt injured his Achilles, and they had to stop filming for 2 months because it took a while to heal. So, what are the odds? So anyway, if you've ever hurt your Achilles, I've never done it. From what I understand, it is really painful. I mean, which kind of makes sense. I mean, it's a tendon that a lot of times if you tear it, it's basically tearing away from the bone that it's attached to, and that just can't feel good. I've torn ligaments in my, between my thumb here. Look, I can only, one doesn't go anywhere near as far as the other. So, that's from tearing the ligaments there, skiing one time, back in the day. But anyway, that is your fun fact of the day. Not that I tore the ligaments in my thumb, but that Brad Pitt injured his Achilles whilst filming Troy as the character Achilles. And here we are, we got the monster level, and I want to do this because I'm 2 levels away from getting to the, and I'm about to die. So, I'm really about to die. Run away! Look how close I was right there. Oh. So, I escape narrowly and eat a field snack and a couple of salmon berries. and I try and regroup, and I'm thinking, all right, there's a bunch of little random slimes up there, but let's try and separate. Divide and conquer is now the strategy. So I want to kind of take on one at a time instead of a whole freaking army of slimes like I did a second ago. Because that was dangerously close. Oh, come on. I'm about to die again with one stupid slime. And I don't want to risk, you know, one random attack where I get, like, double teamed and they get me. So we'll eat a couple more salmon berries. And we're finally running low on our salmon berry supply. So that's no bueno. Although I've got so many blueberries that if I really had to, I could, you know, grab a stack of them and use them. So we probably won't have to though. Trying to think. What else can we chat about? Not a whole lot, honestly. This will probably be the last episode I put up for the next couple of days because I got some stuff going on that will probably keep me a little bit busy. I'm not sure. We might get around to doing an episode or maybe two, but I've also done a series of on MLB The Show. I'm a baseball fan, so that was actually, the MLB series is the first YouTube stuff I've done. So we moved on to this, and I kind of got hooked on it. So I feel bad for having neglected my MLB series, because we basically got to like the end of one season, and then I took a break to do some of this, and now we haven't gone back. And I want to have some closure on it. So we'll probably, I might dedicate a little bit of time to that, and so that might slow down production of this series, but it's not a big deal. This is probably going to be my primary focus for the foreseeable future, but I do want to maybe zip through one more season on that series so that I can get to a point where it's like, alright, this is the end of the road. But anyway. We ended up actually getting a bunch of coal on this run. So, that's good, because we kind of needed some. And considering we weren't really going for coal, we were really going for gold, I will take it. And I probably could have gone down around that other way and gotten a few more resources, but didn't want to deal with it. Because there's a ladder up here that I can take advantage of, and where my health is right now, I don't want to risk an encounter if it's unnecessary. So we come down to level 110, and we got space boots. Which, let's be honest, like every level you go to, you get boots that kind of correspond with that level. And you get down here and you get space boots. So I wonder if Eric, the developer, was thinking maybe at some point he might have a level that's like space themed. But I don't know. Or maybe he's just saying, like, since the space boots are purple and iridium is kind of purplish, it's just a color theme and he had to call them something. He could have called them iridium boots. But not a big deal. Alright. So now we're smelting a couple more gold bars. We didn't come away with a whole lot more gold, unfortunately. We basically have enough to where, yeah, it's just not doing us a whole lot of good. But anyway, we're getting close to wrapping this episode, so like I said, it might be a day or two before I get the next episode up, but have no fear, we shall return. So let's go on back down to town. We'll get Seabiscuit, and then I don't remember if I swing by the saloon or not. Looks like I don't, because it's already 10 o'clock. It's a long episode, which is why I end up running out of stuff to talk about and just rambling. So maybe I can, instead of just having fun facts, maybe I can start bringing along like a dad joke or two to throw in here just to consume some time and not have to rely on just like coming up with something to chit chat about. We'll see. I did a trivia question on like the second episode and then forgot to give the answer for like 3 or 4 episodes. But I feel like the fun fact is easier than dealing with that. So, anyway, that coffee bean you can plant in the spring. So we'll put that in our spring box. We're going to put our pale ale in our regular brown box. We'll sell... What are we going to sell? We'll sell the white algae and the sweet pea. We'll need to sell those boots eventually. But that's like, you know, we'll get 150 bucks for them, I bet. If that. So, alright, let's smelt some gold and some... We don't even have copper, so we'll smelt an iron. And actually we'll grab some more iron to smelt some more in the morning. And that'll do it, y'all. We're going to hit the sack here, so be sure to drop a like if you haven't done so already. Hit the subscribe button. Comment below for anything relevant that's, you know, needs to be discussed, or ideas for upcoming episodes, etc. And we will see you all next time. Later.
We are both